Hi everybody, Cats and Owls here. So there was a question that was asked on my Facebook page. How do you get such straight lines when you do your French tips? Now that question was not asked to me, but it was asked to another person who actually posted my page. She does a great job and I love her work, and we nicknamed her tips by Dawn. So how do you get a straight line? I mean, it is such a chore, right? I mean, it's hard, it's difficult, especially if you're not used to it. So this video is actually dedicated to those people who want to know how to do a straighter line when doing your French tip. And of course, if you mess up, how to cover them up, because that's important too. So thanks for watching. So here's a couple of things we could be using today, including my art liner brush. It's just a fine synthetic brush that I picked up from eBay. Now, using my Dazzle Dry, I'm going to actually take most of the polish off the brush itself and use my art liner brush. And all I'm going to do is get enough fingernail polish on there to draw a straight line going all the way across. And that basically is how I'm going to get my straight line. From that, all I'm going to do is just fill it in. So just putting my art liner brush down, I'll just take my fingernail polish brush and I will go back in and I will actually just fill that in using that line as a guide. So now all I'm doing is I'm going back in and I'm just putting in my second coat. Now I know you're supposed to do 3 strokes, but sometimes I do a few more. It's okay, I'm just sealing off the free edge here, and there you go. I think we got a pretty straight line. What do you think? So in this next example, I snapped off one of the fingernails and I taped it to my finger. I'm going to go from the left to the right, just dragging it all the way across. I actually think this is pretty easy to do when you have long fingernails. Of course, as you can see, I've got short fingernails. On this one here, I don't think it looks too bad, but remember I talked about if you thought that there were some imperfections, how you could actually cover it up. We're going to take our black art liner brush and we're going to drag it up, and you can really stop there. It looks pretty cute. I'm going to add just a few more lines and then we'll have a finished look. Now normally I would add a jewel right there to the left of that fingernail, but just for this video I won't. Just trying to show you some ideas of how to cover up an imperfection. So sometimes you want to have a tip at an angle, so I'm going to take my brush and pulling from the left up at an angle, I am going to just drag up towards that very top, and again just tapping and pulling straight down. Now your line is only going to be as straight as you can pull, so remember the tip I gave you is a little bit hard to show you. If you hold your brush still and move your finger, you'll get a much cleaner line. So I'm just going to kind of fill that in, and remember what I said. If you don't like the line, if you don't think it's a clean enough line, you can always cover it up. I covered it up once, I see some imperfections, so I'm going to cover it up again. I like this final look. What do you think? I talked about pulling your fingernail polish from the left to the right or right to the left, depending if you're right-handed or left-handed. If you have long nails, it's easier to do. You're just pulling it in one direction, and for the most part, you can get a pretty straight line. I want to do a little bit of a touch-up here, so I'm going to use a flat brush and I'm going to dip it in some acetone, and I'm just going to kind of touch it up right there at the top. This is probably the most common method. So again, just touching it up with a brush, bringing it straight across. I just want to do this in short, small strokes going across to get my fine, clean line, and there you go. So on this last example, I'm just going to tap and pull, and then I'm going to tap, push up, and pull down. And I'm going to continue that going all the way across. So I'm going to go back in here with my second coat. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. The way that I'm showing you actually here is in the video is where I'm just tapping the brush and dragging it straight down. But normally when I do it, I will place my brush and I'll push it back up to the line. And what I find out is that it will actually give me a cleaner line when I do it that way. I didn't really like the way that turned out, so I'm going to take my gold art liner, go about halfway across, and then again I'm going to pull it the rest of the way. And that's going to give me my clean line. And so with her permission, these are the tips by Dawn. She does a wonderful job in posting so many pictures to our page that we just absolutely love her. So thanks, Dawn, for your permission, and I hope you guys enjoy these. If you'd like to see more tips by Dawn, please come to our page at Now Art by Cat's Nails, along with a host of a whole lot of other people who have great creativity. Thanks for watching.